realized that single girl dinner is just gonna be that space that I appear on when I have something to say. There's no content strategy on this page. I mean, look at how many followers I have. Look at how many likes I have. Even the people who are watching me right now won't tap a like. I don't know why. You're just that kind of person who watches content that people take the time to create and you don't tap like. That's the kind of person you are. But that's not my problem. I'm really struggling with this concept of a date night. Like, people post things where they're getting dressed up and then they go, date night. Like, I've never had a date night. And I don't find anything wrong with that. Like, for me, if I get dressed up and go to dinner with my boyfriend, we're just going to dinner. It's not a date. We're just having dinner. Is that bad? Is there something different about date night aside from the fact that you're getting dressed and going to a restaurant? I could be missing something. I've never been one of those girls who does date night. And I've never been one of those people who are into those rites of passages. I wish I were, because there are milestones to celebrate. Definitely. But like, I've never really labeled them. When people talk about push presents, or like if they have like a whole festival around their birthday, like I've never been that person ever. I'm super old school. I come from the era where it's just like you get a Christmas present, a birthday present, and a Valentine's Day card. And that's it. Actually, like whenever we do go to a restaurant, I do wish that we kind of were on a date. Maybe don't reach across the table and grab a lamb chop off my plate. That would be considered date night, in my opinion, if he didn't do that. Like, manners matter to me. He thinks I'm pretentious and I'm a snob. I'm not a snob. It's just called manners. I've actually had someone do that to me pathologically, like just take food off my plate or eat off my plate. And I remember I was eating lunch with a friend, like a very close friend of mine, like my soulmate, but it would never work out. I was eating with that person. So I was eating with that person and I was saying, like, I don't know what to do. Like, it's super annoying. Should I say something? Like, it's my boyfriend. Not this boyfriend, a different boyfriend. My friend was like, you're only saying that because you don't really like that person. And I was like, what are you talking about? I really like that person. Like, we totally connect. And he was like, yeah, but if you really connected, that kind of stuff wouldn't matter to you. I was like, no, I think it would. It's bad manners. My friend was like, well, I've been eating off your plate this entire time that we've been talking and you haven't noticed. And I was like, oh my God, you have been. So maybe there's some truth to that. But I'm not a snob just because I think that you should have manners. I've been called a snob before. Okay, so like for example, I remember one year I was dating this other guy and we met another couple for a picnic in the park. My friend's boyfriend at the time was in charge of buying the chips. And when we showed up to the picnic, my friend's boyfriend at the time pulled out a bag of Terra chips. You know, like the ones that are made out of like purple sweet potatoes, garnet yam. It looks fancy and colorful. And he was like, I was at the store and I was trying to choose between the Lay's potato chips or the Terra chips. And I was like, oh no, I have to go with the Terra chips because Jessica Dang is gonna be at this picnic. Inside, like deep inside, I was like, gosh, I wish he had gone with the Lay's potato chips. Like, if you really saw me, you would know that I'm really a Lay's potato chips kind of girl. But I did have a boyfriend who did get it right. And this is a different boyfriend than the ones I've been talking about. So one year for Valentine's Day, he gave me a box of long-stemmed roses, like red roses, and took me to some Valentine's dinner at like, what is that, Tavern on the Green? Something like that, something like totally cliche. And it was nice, but I almost felt like it was like generic, like a cookie cutter thing to do for Valentine's Day. And for some reason, like, it made me sad because I felt like he didn't really catch my nuances. And probably like my face was a little crestfallen when I opened the box of roses. And I guess he kind of like picked up on that. He asked me about it and I told him the whole thing about the generic cliche thing and how I didn't feel like it was being seen. So then like the next year, he invited me over. He opened the door and he was like, I have a surprise for you. It's in the kitchen. So I go to the kitchen and it's just like cheap roses from the deli and a box of Popeye's fried chicken. I felt so seen.